Hi, I'm David Norris and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz and Haz. Play up, Pompey.
He used to be a waiter, did David Norris. Well, he's served up the perfect cocktail here.
It back to goal, Lang. Needs a bit of help. Goodness from Lang. What can he do? Still there, Lang. Lang! You wouldn't believe it! Cross comes into the near post. Headers into the net! Shock the team! Surely Pompey are heading for the championship! Portsmouth are promoted as League One champions!
Hello and welcome to the Pompey Patter podcast. This is episode 24, a Bish best served cold. Well, it was a week of tale of two ones, wasn't it? But this week, as always, I'm joined by Harry and Russ. How you doing, boys? You okay?
Yeah, all good.
All good. Looking forward to the pod. It's got some positives, quite a lot of positives to talk about. Actually, I think overall.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I mean, obviously, the first result was disappointing and not a positive, but I think there was much more positive to take as a performance-wise. But then, obviously, the second 2-1 was more about the result, and that's really all that mattered, wasn't it? So, yeah. So on this episode of the podcast, we're going to start with a Sheffield United review, then move into our Cardiff City review. Then we preview Oxford United for a lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. Then it's a bit of Haz Vs Daz, Harry's Who Am I, and then any other business if we've got anything else to discuss at the end. So, as I said, it was the first of 2-1s this week. Unfortunately, we came on the wrong side of a 2-1 defeat, which maybe the performance didn't reflect. Russ, we'll start with you.
I was fuming.
Yeah, we know.
I was absolutely livid that we didn't get nothing from that game. I'm also getting a bit tired of people being like, oh, if you keep playing like that away from home, we'll be fine. And it's like, how many times we said that and we still can't get at least a point away from home. All right, yeah, before the game, I think we all said, just don't get smashed. But to play like that and come away with nothing was just, it fucked me off. Especially as, again, everything was our own doing, wasn't it? We started off well, we're all over them. We thought, here we go. And then Swanson was just caught completely, I would say 15 yards up the pitch. And what frustrated me with the goal, their first goal was he saw that I can't remember who scored it now. Was it Hammer?
Hamer,
was completely free, and he was just gently jogging back. And by the time he thought, "Oh God, I've got to get back in a position," it was too late. Maybe you could point a little bit of finger at Shaughnessy. I thought he could have stood up better, but to be honest, Swanson just left him completely open. He was shocking for the goal. I don't know why he ventured, and that's happened a lot this season, isn't it? Ogilvie and Swanson and Pack at certain points, and McIntyre, just all caught right up the pitch, and teams just exploit that. So that's definitely got to be. I don't know how you boys feel. Maybe a bit more on the tactical coaching side of things, because it has happened a lot.
Yeah, I think it's hard because it's part of the tactics. Is kind of because Richie is left-footed. It means that he normally is kind of playing as an inside forward, so he's always naturally going to come in onto his left, and it then means that Swanson kind of needs to get out there to overlap, and that's what we kind of try and do a lot.
But to not get back though.
But yeah, and of course, if you're going to do that, then you need a midfielder to come across, or kind of the rest of the defence to be able to kind of almost create a back three, but actually come across the pitch to make back three rather than just leave big exposed hole. It was weird because the fullbacks were so different in how they played and the tactics. So Swanson is obviously a lot of the time and I don't think it really matters if it's Devlin or whoever else is very high and wide. Whereas in this game, Ogilvy actually played as an inverted fullback and was constantly getting into that near post and was just letting, because Murphy's got 2 feet that he is very comfortable in using. He can happily cut in onto his right, or he will go down to the byline and then cut it in with his left. It means that Ogilvy was able to get into the box and create an extra man, which is obviously where our goal came from. And Sheffield United had no idea how to cope with that at all.
It shocked us, I think, let alone Sheffield United. They just couldn't deal with it, could they?
I mean, it was a great tactic, and it really threw them off. And obviously, the fact that we scored from it, but it was a vast difference between the two fullbacks, wasn't it? The performance.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's I think with because obviously we've struggled predominantly with bigger pitches and stuff like that. I think that is a tactic that we can actually manipulate to actually play well on like bigger pitches, because then it gives you say you're quite compact in the middle where you can obviously get an extra man up with Bishop, which I think is what we struggled with. And then when you've got like Murphy and Ritchie on each side, especially Murphy, the way form he's been in, delivering those balls in there, you got more of a chance and you look better.
Yeah, definitely. And, look how brilliantly the first goal was. What a ball by Murphy. And Ogilvy slid in, got his foot on it, and deservedly drawing 1-1, and probably we should have actually been winning at that point. And then we just absolutely battered them. Absolutely battered them. I don't think I've ever seen a half like it for a long time, away from home anyway. Lang should have scored. All right, it's a bit more difficult, but he still should have scored. Ogilvy's miss was even worse.
I can Lang, although Lang missed, if you watch it, Ahmed Hodzic gets a touch on it.
It's hard, but I still think he should have scored.
And because it takes it away from his foot.
Yeah.
So because it's such a fast ball into the box from Murphy, because Ahmed Hodzic touches it, it takes it above where his foot is, and it kind of hits his ankle almost on, shins it over the bar. Whereas if Ahmed Hodzic doesn't touch it, he's scoring that because it's hitting his foot. But because his foot is already in that position and he doesn't have enough time to be able to adjust, it kind of just hits him and then could have gone anywhere. So I kind of... it looks worse than it is, but when you slow it down and look at it, I think you can understand why he missed.
But Ogilvy's, his goal was harder than that. Do you know what I mean? He missed from a yard out?
It's a left back inside the 6-yard box with his weak foot.
Mate, I would fancy not even someone who plays football to just be able to tap that in. That is shocking. There's no excuse for that one.
I actually think for like how Josh Murphy plays those balls into the box, and they're lovely. I mean, they kept low, lots of pace on them and stuff like that. It's kind of easier to come onto it. So I think that Ogilvy's goal was probably a little bit easier than, I know he's literally a yard out, but where the balls just come flying in and it comes in with so much pace, it's a great ball. You can't, not dissing the cross, but to be in a standing start, which Ogilvy was, trying to keep that down is quite hard. It's one of those things where...
Yeah, sorry, mate. He should be burying that. That all day long, that was a horrific miss. Horrific miss.
That shot had an XG of 0.85.
Yeah, but again, that's not taking into account the pace of the ball and everything like that, though, is it?
No, or the player, or the fact of his weak foot.
He probably could have just stood there and it hit him and gone in. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if he did it 10 times, probably 8 or 9 out of 10 times, it would have gone in.
Yeah, 100%. So it's things that when I started, when I said it's always us. It's the goal should have been stopped. We should be 3-1 up at half time. Murphy had an amazing straight to hit the crossbar.
I thought we could be 5-1 up at half time, but I know it wasn't exactly, and I get where you're coming from, and I know Ryan Stillwell said the same. The fact that it's all very well saying these performances, like that was a good and away performance, and if we keep going, we'll be fine. But this was the first real. This was a hell of a lot better. I know we said it after like Watford, even though we lost and stuff. This was another level above that. This was by far our best performance away from home, and actually probably better than a fair few of our home games as well. And even when the Watford game away, we were doing better and we didn't get pumped. But it was just the sheer amount of chances we created in this game is what gives me hope. And yes, it was very frustrating, but did anyone really expect anything out of the game anyway?
No. That's what I mean. Before the game,
it was just the amount of sheer chances that we created. And if we have those chances again, and if we keep creating chances like that, the goals will come. And I think if it happens again and again, then you can go, oh, like, I can get I do understand where you're coming from. But for me, I just think the fact that we managed to basically rattle them when they're meant to be, going for the Premier League. And I know we didn't win, but I was more frustrated that we didn't win rather than like yourself, where you were pissed off.
I was pissed off we just didn't even get at least a draw. That's what I was. If we draw now,
we fully deserved it, and even Chris Wilder admitted that they didn't deserve to win that. But that's football, isn't it?
Oh yeah, of course it is. It's just like what annoyed me more was people saying, don't worry, play like this, we'll be fine. Because that's all right saying that, but we're running out of time now. Saturday against Oxford, for me, anything less than a point is not good enough.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
I don't care how we play. I don't care if we miss. I don't care if we batter them.
We need to get a point, at least a point at Oxford, and at least a point away to Luton as well.
Yeah,
because otherwise 100%. It's not good enough.
No, and so this is Saturday. Is the players' chance to go put the exact same performance in, and at least come out with a point. Otherwise,
but if we do that, if we do the same performance against Sheffield United, or even a little bit less, 5-10% less, we will win that game. But we have to make sure we do it.
Yeah, and that's what I said after. I think it was before we played Cardiff, and I saw some more comments from Wilder, obviously like bigging us up and that.
Wilder's got a real soft spot for us, though.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people saying he wants to manage us at some point, and I probably wouldn't disagree with it. But obviously, you'd have to ask him yourself. But
he tried.
Yeah.
Well, we had the opportunity.
Did we go for Richie Parker instead?
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
And what makes me laugh is some of the people involved with that are the ones who slag the Aussies off. Anyway, that's another day.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I said after that, before the Cardiff game, and it was like, it's all well and good having that performance we did on Saturday, but if we don't follow it up, like it's kind of worthless, because it's if you get a point out there, then you'd be like, okay, if we mess up a little bit, then at least we've got a point out of that game. But when you haven't got any points and you have performed so well, then the next couple of games you have to have positive results out of them, not just a performance, or you don't even need the performance after that. You just need to make sure you pick up the results. And what we're saying, obviously, about the whole, as Harry was saying, it's not like the same as other away performances where we said, oh, we perform like that, we'll be all right. Because I thought on Saturday we weren't, if it was just an okay performance and we still lost, I could understand, Russ, where you were definitely coming from. But I think because we played so well, I think it's the best performance we've played all season. I just felt myself, they get one more away performance now. And as you said, Oxford has to be good. Whether or not, we don't have to be at, as long as we get the result, I don't care if we're at the levels we were on Saturday. But if we can be 10% below that maximum, I think we'll be all right. Because I don't want to touch wood and say I'm not overly impressed with the games I've seen from Oxford, but they seem a bit more like a pragmatic side now, which I think
that's just Gary Rowett football.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, their form is dipped. Anyway, we'll get on to Oxford in a minute.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so obviously half time 1-1. I listened to some of the Sheffield United commentary, and they were nothing but praising us and wondering how Sheffield United was still in the game. Obviously, we moved into the second half, and even though we had another pretty dominant second half, we came up second best. How did you see the second half?
It kind of, it started off at how the first half finished, really, with us kind of on top, and we made a couple of early chances. Murphy shot outside the box. Cooper had to kind of take it on the second chance. Then, obviously, he then had another go. Murphy was absolutely on fire this game. Harry Clark, bearing in mind he's played in the Premier League this season, he absolutely toasted him the whole game.
Is that
And he had
Josh Murphy's best game yet for Pompey?
I think so.
100%.
And it's bizarre because he hasn't scored, but
you got what, 2 assists? No,
it was 2. Yeah, and it was just the pure It was the pure dominance. If you look at Cardiff, how O'Dowd absolutely whooped Swanson's ass for the 45, and Moutinho looked at that and went, "That's changing." I was very surprised that Harry Clark didn't come off at half time, because Murphy was running him round absolutely ragged, and he kept doing it. So that surprised me that he didn't make a half-time swap. I mean, I suppose it paid off in the end because he didn't score, but it was frustrating because you had a couple of chances. They had an earlier chance with Clark again. He had a shot curled with his weak foot. And we don't, when they score their second, we don't get rid of it. We clear the ball the first time. Excuse me. We clear the ball the first time. It's kind of hoofed up to Bishop, and he can't keep hold of it. He's got like 3 blokes around him. Goes out to Brewster on the wing and onto the left wing. And Ogilvie loses his man in Raksaki, and of course Raksaki's always done well against us, apart from when he played Jacob Farrell. He lost his man and he slides in and makes it 2-1. And then from then it kind of felt that kind of killed us a bit, because we've been so on top all that time until like the 73rd minute when they scored. Once they scored their second and went 2-1, it felt like we knew that was it. Our chance had come and gone. And it's unfortunate. And as we kind of said it really, but it shows that also the top teams that have got the higher quality players and the more efficient players, and potential Premier League players as well, they only need a couple of chances, whereas teams like us, where we're lower down in the table, we need a couple of extra chances to be able to actually convert them. But yeah, I still look at the positives out of that. It's a frustrating day, but I think we take the positives, really.
Yeah, it was a kind of a cruel way to lose, because obviously how well we played. Not cruel as in like sort of the goal was unlucky or anything like that. I thought it was not a bad work goal, but it's cruel in the terms of how well we've played away from home against one of the title favourites and come away with nothing. Just want to ask one question regarding Bishop and that chance he had. I think I can't remember if it was before or after his goal was ruled out for offside. But
it was after, wasn't it?
I think it was after, yeah. But the ball went over the bar, and in my opinion, I think he's come under a bit of stick for that chance when I don't think he deserves it. Because I've watched it back a couple of times, and the only place Bishop can put it is bit higher. You can't just play it along the floor because the defender was coming sliding in. And I don't like using the word unlucky, because when you do like your coaching course, they tell you not to use the word unlucky. But I felt that. I'm trying to think of another word that isn't unlucky. He was unfortunate, I think, that he probably got too much underneath the ball. Do you guys think if Bishop?
I actually think their defence just dealt with it well and gave him little to aim at. Maybe he should have done better. He knows he should have done better. But football is such quick, you got to think on the. Well, you're not even thinking, are you? You're just reacting on the spot.
Mm.
And I just think and it is a Twitter thing. It's you can tell that even Tuesday night everyone was behind him. Just it's the same people. As soon as he misses a shot, oh, he's shit. He's not good enough. He's not a championship player. Forgetting that we had John Marquis who can't hit a barn door at the moment, and you got we couldn't score a goal to save our life before we got back in the team. It's no coincidence. As soon as he came back, goals started flying. Because he's more than just goals. We said it before. We worked at, what was it? So he scored 50 in 118. Is that right? Is that something?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah. So that works out 20 goals in 2.5 seasons, doesn't it?
And half of that half season, he's not even been here.
Yeah. So he is exactly what we were crying out for after Pittman left. And I just don't get what the fans expect. The bloke's had no pre-season. Everything he went through in the summer with his heart troubles. And I'm just glad he got the opportunity to shut them up the other night. So, I just don't get people's issue.
No, I agree. I'll bang the drum for him until the day, which I hope he never leaves, but until the day he does leave, because I honestly think a lot of people who maybe have been slating him a little bit won't understand until he's gone. I'm not sure because of the things he does off the ball. I mean, not only did he do against Cardiff, because I watched even more against Cardiff, just to make sure that what I have seen previously is not just sort of my eyes messing me about. But against Sheffield United, again, those two centre-backs, Robinson and I'm not going to pronounce that matey's name because it's
Ahmed Hodgic.
That as well, then, yeah. He pretty much dominated those two. It's just the way he puts his body and where he doesn't even have to win a header. He just does all these little bits where he just nudges a centre back off their line and that sort of stuff, and then we're able to sort of get around the ball. And when you've got players like Murphy, Ritchie, and Lang all buzzing around it, for them to pick up the second balls, he's a perfect striker for those guys. And I bet if you asked them, they probably absolutely love playing with him. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to mention about the Sheffield United game?
No, nothing. No.
I have to move on.
Yep.
Lovely. Right. On Tuesday, we welcomed Cardiff City to Fratton Park. Another 2-1. This time we were on the right end of it. Maybe the performance wasn't at the levels of Sheffield United away, but the scoreline is all that really matters at the end of the day. Harry, what do you think of the game?
Well, I thought the first 10 minutes was a really scrappy start.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, neither team wanted to be that first one to make the mistake. I think both teams knew what was it was a relegation 6-pointer, wasn't it? It was an important game for both teams, and neither team wanted to be that first one to make the error that led to the goal, which is exactly what Cardiff did. Again, it came to our high pressing again, put Cardiff under pressure, and they kind of passed it straight to was it Ogilvie it went to, or was it straight to Murphy? I can't remember.
Went to Ogilvie, I think.
Yeah, and he passed it forward to Murphy, didn't he? And again, it shows that our high press, especially at home, is really effective. If teams want to play it out from the back, then just keep doing it. We honestly don't care, because you can keep doing it, and we'll keep doing what we did. Murphy got hold of it, a bit of Murphy magic, which I know Daz loves. Had two men on him, popped it through one of their legs. And and it was a difference between Sheffield United, where Murphy was kind of cutting in and shooting quite a lot. He passed it. It was a lovely little pass into Bishop, and I don't think the defence really expected it. And it's a great finish with the outside of Bishop's, with his outside of his right foot into the far corner. And it's a very nice little 1-0 lead, nice and early, and you think, okay, here we go. And then it was a kind of all Pompey from there for a little while, for the next until 20 minutes. Obviously, we got our second goal. Cardiff also, I thought they looked really dodgy from set pieces, but even before our goal, they didn't look confident. The keeper wasn't confident in coming out. They looked a bit shaky, and obviously Shaughnessy loves a near post header. Watching it back, it's Joe Rawls, their Cardiff's captain, is meant to be marking him, and just as he comes in, Shaughnessy shoves him, like, say, get the fuck off me, I'm having this, and he's nowhere near him. He just gets to the front post, gets the head on, too hard for the keeper, and you're 2-0, and you're thinking, okay, this is it. Cardiff are on the ropes here. Let's go and get another one. And then we let a really, really sloppy goal in on the attack.
Oh, don't! I wanted to kill Swanson there and then.
Swanson had a really tough time against Callum O'Dowda. I mean, Callum O'Dowda is a really, really talented player, and he's played a couple of 100 appearances in the Championship for City and Bristol City and Cardiff City. So he's got a lot of talent, but he couldn't cope. Every goal kick, every time the keeper had the ball, they were aiming for Swanson and aiming for O'Dowda, because he was just pummeling him every time, on aerially and on the floor. And it comes in from their right wing back, Riamoto, and it comes to O'Dowda, and Swanson gets caught underneath the ball. And he needs to do better. There's no foul in there for me. I know everyone seemed to stop. Schmid didn't dive because he thought it was a foul, and you got to play to the whistle at that point. Shaughnessy stops. Swanson was just having to lay down. Yeah, there's no foul for me there. He's just got to be stronger. He just got out-muscled.
The thing is, I nearly brought up last time, I wish I had. When we played Burnley, the exact same cross and the exact same thing happened. And luckily, the header just went straight at Schmidt. And it's a bit of a worry that that's happened again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Actually, I'm not sure why he did it, but I can see what he was doing. He was just trying. Swanson, we're talking about here. Swanson was trying to hold off Dowda.
Just go for the header, don't you?
Yeah, because it wasn't at a height where he wouldn't even need to have to jump, because Dowda didn't jump. All he would have had, if he just stepped forward, he's heading it away, and like just heading it anywhere. He's got caught in that two mind thing where it's like, sort of, do I hold the player off? Do I go win the header? And he did neither. And then the way the ball comes in, it's easy for Dowda to put enough power on it. And I don't even think because I'm not sure whether Schmidt did think it was a foul or not, but I don't think he would have got down to it either way, because I think it's in that spot. It's too close to goal. Dowda's headed it down. I just think, even though how well Schmidt's been good this season, I just don't think he would have be able to react quick enough to that. But it was poor. And I don't know, this was a thing I was thinking about earlier, because as Haz said, Dowda looked really good in the first half. Do you think that was down to Dowda looking good, or Swanson being particularly bad in that first half?
That's a mix.
Obviously, when Devlin came on, Dowda was a bit more quiet, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I would say it's a mixture. Dowda's a good player, very good player, but Swanson was just shocking, and Devlin showed that, because, as you said, in the second half, Dowda didn't really do anything. I mean,
and that's the thing. It's hard to gauge how well a player's played when they're up against someone who hasn't played well at all. It's different if they're a good player and they've played well, and then you can understand how good that winger was then. But because Swanson didn't play really well at all, you kind of think, well, was Dowda actually that good?
It was a hard watch for Swanson. He got easily beat every single time. It wasn't even close.
I think it was probably maybe one too many for Swanson.
Yeah.
Just because of his fitness, and obviously he has had time out injured this year as well.
Yeah.
Some of me thinks maybe it was the wrong decision to start him. Is he actually fit enough to start that game after doing? Well, he did. Let's go back. Millwall, he did 85 minutes. He did 87 against Burnley. Did the full 90 against Sheffield United, and then was that one too many in a row? Did he need a break?
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
Because if it's Swanson, he's kept Cuban Song in his pocket. We know he can do it. This ain't because of he's a good player, but he's not that good.
The problem is with Swanson there, though, because we're obviously, once Williams is back, we're pretty heavily stacked at that right back position, aren't we? Obviously, Devlin can do more than a job there. So for Swanson, he probably wouldn't even wanted to come out anyway, even if he might have been a bit off the pace, because he knows if he comes out and Devlin's in now. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me now if Devlin starts right back on Saturday, because we did that second half. Devlin's probably thinking, if I come out of the team, there's a chance that sort of he won't get back in. And obviously, unfortunately, now he might be out of it because he didn't play particularly well in the first half on Tuesday. So, yeah, as I said, it's probably one of the most stacked positions we've got at the moment.
Yeah, and I just think, again, as I said, Swanson maybe one too many, but Messina was proactive at half time, saw that where the threat was coming from, saw that it's something needed to change. He didn't go no messing about. He went straight away and went, I'm not having that. Swanson, sorry, but we're changing it. Devlin came on and had a lot more. Obviously, O'Dowd still had a couple of instances where he beat Devlin, but Devlin had a lot more joy against O'Dowd in the second half and kept him a lot quieter, which is exactly what he would have wanted from him, and he came on and did it. But again, the second half was then really scrappy as well.
Yeah, the second half was just... I never felt like they were going to score. I felt really comfortable. Once Devlin was on, I thought the back four was solid. Didn't really threaten much ourselves, if I remember correctly. I remember maybe the first 5-10 minutes, it was all at the Fratton end, and then Murphy, who I thought was outstanding in the first half. It was like he lost his feet in the second half. It was like he couldn't control a ball anymore. The ball just kept getting away from him. It was really odd. But it just felt a few of them, just got a little bit. I don't know if they were tired. Obviously, I think the plan was to rotate, and they didn't. I thought Richie struggled. I think Lang's been off it. Sorry, lately. I thought Murphy looked tired in the second half. It just started to show a bit, and I thought it was just a good job that we had a real solid back four, because it just felt like they could. I think throughout the whole second half, I can only remember one decent chance they had, and that was near the end, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, Callum Robinson's volley, and I couldn't tell. It's hard to tell whether it was hit straight at Schmid or he kind of reacts at the same time.
I mean, Schmid put himself in a good position, but it was pretty much straight at him. And I saw when that ball pops up and Robinson was just about to wrap his foot around it, my heart sank, because I thought, no. And I looked to the mate next to me when it went into Schmid's arms, and I was like, anywhere but there, and he probably scores.
There was a point where I was like, here we go again in the first half, because after we went 1-0 up, it could have been 4 or 5-0 up. Murphy had a great save from the goalkeeper, and there was other chances. And then I even messaged you, Daz, to say, I'm happy for you to have the points. I just want the goal now.
Yeah.
And then as I text that was the mad... I can't remember who had the initial shot.
It was Bishop, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah. And then it come back to Oshish, who, by the way, side note, fell in love with instantly.
Oh, yeah, breath of fresh air when he came on.
His quick feet, and he looks for it. It's like what we've missed all season, that sort of flair. Do you know what I mean?
Tidy, nice as well.
he put it the only place he could. Someone tried to say he should have gone for a different corner. It was like, but he would have to dislocate his leg to have been able to.
I thought he was really clever. I thought he was really clever with what he tried to do.
Yeah. If he got him all in the corner, it would have gone in.
Yeah, I just think he didn't see the person behind the matey behind the goalkeeper.
No.
That's where he kind of put it in between a defender and because they all come in one way, so he just outside his foot puts it the other. But I just don't think he sees the I don't know which defender it was, but there was another defender behind the keeper, and I think that's where he's kept it out.
And then it rolled back to Lang?
Murphy, I think.
Murphy, and then it got blocked. Then it come back to Pack, and then he had a good shot. Well saved by the keeper. And at that point, you just thought, if we lose this again now, or not lose, but draw now, like we have really got to start looking ourselves in the mirror.
And that's the thing. I don't think I've ever been like so nervous in that last 10 minutes or so before the final whistle. I was pretty. It's mainly because it's how much it means. Like against Burnley, even when it was 0-0, I not that I thought that Burnley might score, but you feel less nervous. You think because if Burnley nick it, it's Burnley, isn't it? But when you're playing against a team down by you, those points are so important, and especially where we are in the season. And I just felt to myself, if we can win this game, then that just we need positive results going forward, but it just takes that little bit of pressure off because it's not. I mean, we do need to win those other games as well. Don't get me wrong, but it's a weird mentality thing where you think there's not as much pressure now because we know we've put ourselves in a good position. Where when you're scrambling, it's not ideal.
No. And then the only other negative besides Swanson's performance was the injury to Shaughnessy, where as soon as I see him sat up, he had his head between the legs and looked absolutely deflated. I turned to my dad and went, "He's off. This don't look good." And you just have to hope and pray it's nothing too serious.
Well, it's hamstring, so that can go from 2 weeks to 2 months, can't it?
So you're hoping it's the 2 weeks.
I did think onto that though. I thought Hayden Matthews did really well coming on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I was going to mention
especially that run forward, which led to the chances.
Yeah.
He's bloody quick for a 6'5" kid.
There was a moment when they broke away and he just sprinted along and tackled the player into the south stand, and it was like, oh, the fuck did he get there so quick?
Well, because basically one step and he's like half a mile ahead of everyone else. But what I did like about it might have gone under the radar, but there was a ball that got which came to him. It was in the air, but he just the inside of his right foot just touched it and just cushioned it into. I can't remember who was there, but now if that was a Shaughnessy and Atkinson, you get that, and I think that's a bog standard pass and stuff like that. But for a young lad who's come over from Australia, has not played loads of football, playing in front of a crowd he's probably never played in front of, in a game where you're 2-1 up against a team around you, you can't afford to make certain mistakes. I think it says a lot for him how he comes on and he's really calm. He looks to me, it looks like he's played over it for a couple of seasons already. I think he's got that cool head on him. And I mean, I hope if obviously Shaughnessy isn't about on Saturday, that it is Hayden Matthews to start centre back. And obviously, Russ, I saw your tweet earlier because there was talk of Messino and about rotating. I haven't read the article, but I did see someone saying if you read the article, it doesn't mean Pack is starting, but he's an option. It's got to be Matthews starts alongside.
If Pack starts centre back at any point, I might generally jump out of a window.
It's just the news being the news.
Yeah, it's headlines, isn't it?
Yeah, Messino's going to. He listed the people who could play there. So Matthews, Pack, Ogilvie, Paul is coming back. He's just listing the possibilities, but then they just pick that. Go, Pack's going to do it because it means that they get clicks and they get the reaction that they want. It's the same with the Birmingham thing with Bishop. No one heard of the fucking Bishop Birmingham rumours until the news published it.
Well,
so
I mean,
I don't know. Those in the know.
Yeah. Oh, wow. One of my mates actually, he did. messaged me. I have to go through my WhatsApps and that lot, but it must have been before Christmas. He sent me like this thing, this about 4 or 5 different rumours that this lad had told him, and Bishop, the Birmingham City one, where they said they had picked up his heart issue during his medical. So, like, I had heard this rumour a while ago, but I just thought, oh, it's just absolute, like, crap. But then when all this stuff coming out, again, I still think it's rubbish. But there was definitely a rumour doing the rounds, but I just don't think it was, like, out there as such. Because the reason I didn't think anything of it is because, like, Bishop going to Birmingham City, that would have been, even at the medical stage, that would have been picked up by every transfer journalists. Do you know what I mean? Peter O'Rourke, all that lot, they would have been picking it up and going with it. So that's what made me feel like I don't think that's legit, and it would just didn't make sense why Bishop would drop down to League One when he's just come up to the Championship, because he wants to play in the Championship, doesn't he? So it didn't make much sense to me. So that's why I sort of left it.
What I loved about it was the fact it just shut them. Like, I know I'm a bit here and there with the Eisners, but those who were completely anti-Eisners, who act like they're in the know, and I don't understand how they're in the know with a club that they don't like the owners. The same with how they acted with Robertson, where they were going, the reason why we didn't sign him is because we didn't offer the same money as Cardiff. When I asked Alex Robertson's dad, is that true? And he said, no, you offered the exact same deal. He just wanted to go to Cardiff. As simple as that. They're like, but I see one of them even went, oh yeah, well, they're going to say that. My source tells me he definitely was going to Birmingham. And you're like, oh, just fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He got it out the player's mouth, and they still just say, nah, they believe you.
Yeah.
And that's it. I've always said, unless you're in the room, you never know exactly what's gone on. And it's very sort of just wait and see what happens. Like, because, like, I've heard loads of different stories about everything and stuff like that. Like, you hear the rumours doing the round for everything. And you just think...
I've heard that Harry's got a restraining order against him from Mousinho.
Well, I haven't, so I'm always I'm just lurking by every corner.
He's a good-looking bloke. I can't help that he's my man crush, right? Just move on.
Is there anything else you want to cover about Cardiff? Because I think the O'Sheesh and Hayden Matthews, stuff like that, things I wanted to cover, we kind of just naturally rolled
the
into
only thing I wanted to add on about O'Sheesh was I didn't realise he's actually quite rapid.
Yeah, he's fine. Like, it's just the way he sort of he does things normal. Like just tidy.
The rest of them are so weird, mate.
It's not out of this world kind of stuff. That's what I meant. Like, it's tidy,
he's
but
flair, isn't he? I mean,
yeah.
He sees that part. There was a pass he done with the outside of his foot that if it literally almost come off the Bishop, and I thought, God, I've not seen anyone do that since we've had like Robertson or Kamara doing.
Yeah, and the things as well, when it's at that point in the game when you're winning 2-1, the game's on a bit of a knife edge, wasn't it? It's like that's where you need someone who's going to be brave and take the ball into a tight area and clip it or put it around a corner so you can get out of there. Because a lot of the time, as the game goes on, people get too comfortable. They don't want to play certain passes and stuff like that. So if you've got someone who's brave enough and who can do it, it can open it up. And I felt that, he gave us that little bit of extra va-va-voom.
Also, shout out to Bramall as well, who we've been told can't defend to save his life, came on and put in about 2 or 3 good tackles and blocks. So fair play to him.
And that's the
playing
thing.
left wing as well.
I think that's why, I think when we got him, I said to one of my mates, I said, I'm not going to listen to some matey called Graham in Rotherham on how good of a player he is. I'd rather take Richard Hughes' opinion and just give him a go.
He crapped for us, Rotherham.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it Shock Nessie was no good, Will Norris was no good, all that sort of stuff. it's just give the player a chance and then see how it goes. And I tell you
I'll
what,
tell you
if he's
who-
not that
I'll
good,
tell you
he
who-
just moves on. So it is. It's all we can do.
I'll tell you who was no good. The ref.
Oh my god! Oh, don't.
That there was a sequence of like 10 minutes, wasn't
But
there?
he
Like,
just everything went to Cardiff.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
player headed it out clearly for a corner. I've never seen the most clearest corner in my life.
yeah.
And he gave him a goal kick.
And
Oh,
the thing
mate,
is,
honestly, he was whatever that daft bastard's name was. He can get in the bin.
That was awful.
He was
and the-
absolute dog shit.
yeah, and the thing is like, don't get me wrong, players will appeal for stuff. If one or two players put their hands up, you just sort of think, wow, that could have gone any way. But when you've got like when players get so animated because they know what they can get, what they can't get, and what they should have. Like when you see a group of players go absolutely mental, you know, like because obviously I'm not the back of the Fratton end, so I can't say for definite. But when you've got players right by there and they're like throwing their hands up in the air and like going mental, you know that it should have been the other way, 100%. Because don't get me wrong, players cheat and try and get it wherever they can at the ref, but when they go to those levels, it's because they genuinely think it is.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure we all would talk the same thing when you play Sunday League or whatever. You know, if the ball goes out, it's it's come off you put your hand up still. But when you said when you got a whole team chasing after a referee, then they must look at each other. And then what annoyed me was straight after that we had a throw in where it looked like it. I think Murphy lifted his foot and it went under his foot. Haz, you might have had a better view because I might have been right in front of you. And they didn't have a clue. They looked at each other, didn't have a clue what to give, and he thought, all right, well, one, we're the attacking team. There's supposed to be advantage to the attacking team. And two, you just fucked up on a corner. Surely you're going to give this to us. And he still gave it to Cardiff.
They were just rubbish. There were some obvious. I mean, Bishop got given GBH again.
As always.
And that's another part of his game, isn't it? He just gets fucking battered.
But then as soon as he
by
touches
the centre
anyone, it's
halves,
a
but
free
he
kick.
doesn't. I know it's so bizarre, but yeah, he was poor and he was giving stuff to Cardiff too easily. But whatever. The only last thing I wanted to say on the Cardiff game was I thought when Colwell came on, he made an impact for them.
Such a good player.
He's a very, very good player.
I was very worried when he came on.
I'd love to have him.
Well, that was when they started to look dangerous, wasn't it? Before he come on, they didn't really. O'Dowd was taken care of, and there was nothing really without Robertson or Ramsey about. There was just nothing happening.
They definitely missed Robertson and Ramsey as well, didn't they?
And again, that Colwell's one of those players, isn't it, where he wants to receive the ball in those tight areas, and like he can get the ball and it can stick to his feet and he can turn. And then that's where they're dangerous. Is a bit like obviously what Ashish was doing was getting those balls in tight areas, keeping hold of the ball, and then turning and going at you, and get like, receiving the ball in between the lines and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I was worried when Colwell came on. Right, lovely. Anything else on the Cardiff City game, or are we ready to move on to our Oxford preview?
Let's do it. The John Messina derby.
It is the John Messina derby. Yeah, so it's Oxford versus Pompey.
Ryan Williams.
And Dave Kitson. No, not Dave Kitson.
Dane Scarlett.
There's Ryan Taylor, isn't it? Who's the other Gingers forward we had?
Ryan
Taylor. Was he at Oxford for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The failed Dane Scarlett loan derby.
Yeah.
Owendale,
yeah.
Oh, he's shit, isn't he?
Oxford loved him though, didn't they? The fans.
Yeah, he's a Wigan now, isn't he? I think he's doing well there. So yeah, Saturday 12:30 kickoff to the stadium with 3 stands. So I had a little look at our history between the two teams. Apparently, we played each other 77 times.
Whoa! Sorry to interrupt. We had a man one Tuesday night. Harry, what's the table?
Oh yeah, actually do that. Yeah, because that was nice.
We all got points Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Hang on. Right. Okay. So Sheffield United, we all got no points because we all went for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
So close.
It was, wasn't it?
So the Cardiff game, Russ went for a 2-1 win, which he got exactly, so he gets 3 points.
Decent.
Daz also gets 3 points.
Yep.
Because he got the correct score line. No, sorry, the correct outcome plus Bishop being the goal scorer, and I got 1 point for the correct outcome. So the table is now Daz is in bottom place on 20 points, and then myself and Russ joint first on 21 points.
God, Jesus Christ, that's close, isn't it?
He is getting.
Is that the first time you've been bottom, Daz?
Huh?
Is that the first time you've been bottom of the league?
No, I don't think so. I think I've been bottom a bit. Yeah, cause I think I got because obviously I kept going for positive results every time, so I kept losing. But then I think
and he kept going for Josh Murphy as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
even when he didn't play.
I got a couple of good weeks, and then I got bought myself up the table. But like now, I don't see it as bottom. I just see it as third place. So
he was bottom until. He was bottom until we played Oxford at home.
So this could change. So this is interesting. So the last time you were bottom was before an Oxford game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I owe Mahoney, I think, to score, and I think that bumped me up. But yeah, I see myself as joint second. No, just second actually, because you two are joint first. So I'm not last. I'm just second. So that's fine.
Second is last in this case.
It is.
Right, Daz.
Right. Okay. Right. So Saturday 12:30. Got a bit of deja vu here. Saturday 12:30 kickoff. Oxford v Pompey. As I said, did a little bit of research. Took a leaf out of Haz's book. Apparently, we've played each other 77 times, which probably feels like we've played them that many times in the past 5 seasons. To be honest, we've won 28, drawn 25, and lost 24. Our last game, obviously, as we were talking at Fratton, was ended in a 1-1 draw. O'Mahony scored to put us in front, and then was it Louis Sibley brought it back to 1-1. Our last win at Oxford was on 23rd of February 2021, and we won 1-0. Can you guys? This was during obviously the lockdown season. Anyone guess who was the goal scorer for Pompey that day?
Yeah, wasn't it that little? Was he from Spurs?
Yeah,
Harvey White.
Harvey White. Yeah.
Boom. And I think it was a really good header, actually.
Yeah, it was a great header. Lovely header.
I remember that now. But,
if I remember rightly, we were awful, and I think that might have been our only shot.
I think it was. Yeah.
I think that was his only goal for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it might have been actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might have been.
Did he ever go on to do anything else?
Went to Stevenage, didn't he?
He's at Stevenage now. Yeah.
Didn't he go to Stevenage on loan, and then they brought him back on a permanent?
He went to Derby after us, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
God,
and then Spurs sold him on a permanent.
Yeah. I don't know how much he's played at Stevenage since. I think he started a few games, but yeah. And apparently our referee is Anthony Backhouse. He reffed our 1-1 draw with Hull City. He's reffed 23 games, 89 yellows, 3 reds, and 4 penalties. 4 of those yellows came in the game against Hull City. So we will go. I was going to say whoever I was going to put whoever's last or second or actually I'll go first then, as I'm second. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Pompey win, and I'm also going to go with Murphy against his old side. Harry, your guess.
Sorry, what was that? 2-1 Pompey.
2-1 Pompey. Josh Murphy.
He's done all my research for me. I had all the ref stuff up.
I
would
never do that to you, Harry.
Oh no.
Oh well, no, sorry, because I thought because I was hosting that I should put in that work.
No, I would leave it to Harry because I can't be asked.
It's nice that you've contributed.
Well,
to be honest,
I thought to myself, I didn't want you'd have to do all the work when it came to the referee and stuff like that. So I thought I'd do my bit, and as I was hosting, I thought I'd do my bit.
Fair enough. Before you start, Harry, I've just got an update on Harvey White.
Go on then.
He's played 26 games this season, scored 1 goal, got 2 assists.
Oh, you played a lot then.
Was that for Stevenage?
Yeah, for Stevenage, yeah.
Fair play. I can sleep better tonight.
Yeah, I had to look because it generally would bug me.
Yeah. You just wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats. Your missus is like, what's wrong? Harvey White.
I'm so glad that there is like internet on our phones, because otherwise I would most nights probably not sleep because there's always something on my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're actually unbeaten since since the 21-22 season.
Oh, heartbreak that was.
5th of February 2022, we lost to Oxford.
Battered them.
That was the last time we lost to them.
Battered them. I mean, they scored two last minute goals, didn't they?
Yeah, 96th minute they scored. Oh, what a surprise! Joe Morrell got sent off.
Yeah,
No
I was going to
surprise
say,
there.
but we played excellent because we were down to 10 men.
Yeah, I was at that game.
Yeah, well, that's
as
the one where Joe Morrell did nothing wrong and he got a red card.
Yeah, I was at that game as well.
Was that the non-high foot
Yeah,
one?
the one where the player
Yeah.
literally like moved down to his foot and his foot was about hip height.
Yeah,
And that's quite small considering how short
exactly.
he is.
It was the most ridiculous red card I've ever seen in my life.
And it was horrible. It was like one of those. And to be fair, like when that full-time whistle went, like I think every Pompey fan there clapped the team off because like they put an absolute shift in.
Yeah, they were unbelievable that day.
They were.
Right, I was going to go Murphy as well, but we're not allowed to do that. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Pompey win. I'll go Atkinson.
Oh, do you know what? You just brought up what I actually wanted to bring up about the Cardiff game. That he was outstanding, my man of the match, by the way.
Oh, he was great.
He was great. Wrong the whole game. I think his stats are unbelievable if you go and look at it.
He's a monster, isn't he?
I think he won every duel, head and on the ground. He was just... They couldn't get past him.
No.
But I did learn he doesn't have a right foot. I've never seen a defender outside outside his left foot. He did that twice to clear the ball when he could just hit it with his right.
I haven't got an issue with. Obviously, they're professional footballers, so you probably should be able to use both feet. But if I try and kick with my right foot, I'm like a little toddler.
Yeah, when he did it the first time, I thought, wow, that was fancy and unnecessary. If that had gone wrong, that would have been horrendous. And then he did it again. And I thought, clearly, he ain't got a right foot. Right, I'm going for a clean sheet. I fancy a 2-0. Because I don't think are they scoring at the moment, Oxford?
Yes.
They are.
Well, they haven't scored in the last two.
That's what I thought. So I'm going along them lines. 2-0. I feel like they're starting to creep back down now. I feel they had that new manager bounce, and now it's starting to come back to they're not a very good team.
Yeah, I think if we can beat them, like I think
they're back in. They're involved, 100%. 2-0. So who did you go for, Harry? I know you went Murphy.
Atkinson.
Oh, yeah, was it? That's why we got onto Atkinson. You know what? I'm gonna go for O'Sheesh to score.
Oh, nice.
Was that who you went for last time, Haz? I bet you were gutted when you missed that chance.
No, that was Sheffield United. I went for O'Sheesh.
He did, yeah. and to be fair, like that O'Sheesh, I know he came on against Sheffield United, but I think the Cardiff performance was like
that was difficult. He literally came on and then they scored, didn't they?
Yeah. So yeah, it was good to see him. I thought he did well. But yeah, so shall we move on to Haz Vs Daz?
Yep.
Right. Before you start, Russell, man.
Yep.
Listen to this.
Ooh. Oh, that made me feel like I was like in some 90s game show.
I felt like I was on hold there, and I was like, "Am I really?"
I feel like I should be wearing some shiny, like silver jacket right now.
Yeah. And a smoking jacket.
Yeah, I like that. That was class. I love things like that.
Decent. Good work.
That one isn't written by me.
That's not.
No, I like it then.
But also, I've then got some background music.
Oh,
Or was it? Oh, it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
it is, isn't it?
Oh, I like it. Right. So this week, as Bish got 50 goals,
Right.
I am going on to. I'm going to name a season, and you just got to tell me the top goal scorer, which you'll get a point for, and the amount of goals you get an extra point for.
These are Pompey players, yeah? Are they all?
Yeah, all Pompey players, and I'm being fair. They've been picked out due to age differences. That makes sense.
Right.
Haz, as you are very, very far away, you can choose to go first or second. It doesn't matter because you've guaranteed who you're going to get, but
Well, let's go first then.
go first, yeah? Okay. Right. So, season 2008 to 2009.
And I've got to name what? Sorry, say it again.
Who the top goal scorer was in the in the league, no cup games. And if you can guess how many goals they got, you get an extra point. The 08-09 season.
Carnu.
Incorrect.
Can I steal it?
You can steal.
Was it Defoe?
No.
No.
It was Peter Crouch with 10 goals. Right then, Daz.
Yo.
The 96-97 season.
96, 97. John Aloisi?
Incorrect.
Oh, fuck off.
You want to have a stab in the dark, guys? Even I know it's before your time, but
My nan.
your nan. Correct.
Yep.
No, it was Lee Bradbury with 15 goals.
Jeez.
Haz, who was the top scorer in the 2014-15 season?
Oh, God. Was that the season we had loads of players?
No, I'll help you there. No, it wasn't.
Okay. 14-15.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Patrick Adjumang.
Incorrect.
I don't think he was even there then.
Because that was the season, I think, before Cook came in. So I'm just trying to think who played in that season. Jesus. Matt Tubbs?
Incorrect.
Oh.
It was Jed Wallace with 14. Right, back to you, Daz.
Right.
The 01-02 season.
01-02. Oh my God. 01-02. That was the season before we got promoted, wasn't it? This is 02-03 we got promoted in, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think, it's when I left school. I can't even think of plays then. Jeez. I'm having a complete mental blank here. No. I'm going to Kevin Arthur. Don't know why. I just can't think.
Kevin Arthur. Incorrect.
I don't know why I couldn't think.
Haz? You're going to kick yourself, Daz, when I say the answer. Unless Haz gets it.
Pericard?
Incorrect. It was, again, Peter Crouch.
Oh, so
With 18 goals.
Mm.
Right, back to you then, Haz. The 2006-2007 season.
That was my first season here.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I picked it because I remember you saying that your first game was Reading in 2006, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so that would be your first year. With the Jacko right on the shoulder.
Yeah. Sponsored by Oki.
Yeah, correct.
I don't remember the strikers we had. I just remember like Gary O'Neill and that.
I've got two in my head. I can't figure out which one.
I'm going to push for time.
Go on, it's Haz who has to answer, isn't it? Not me.
No idea. Pass. I can't think of a striker.
You've got to have a case. Come on. Just name a striker around about that time.
I don't know one.
I'm giving you a clue that it's a striker.
I don't remember who was here.
You might have even scored in your first game, if I remember rightly.
Pass. I can't. Mine's gone.
Okay. Go on then, Dad.
I'm torn between Benjani or Kanu. Benjani?
No, it was Carney.
Because Carney scored loads of goals, like especially at the start of that season, like Blackburn and Middlesbrough and stuff like that.
He scored 10 that season. I believe 8 of them come within the first 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I thought to myself. I couldn't remember him scoring a lot of goals towards the latter end of the season. But obviously, no.
Right. Daz.
Mm.
Oh, none of you got anything right yet.
No, I haven't had none.
Oh, mate.
The 2011-2012 season.
2011-2012. So that was the first season we'd been. So right, so 2011-2012.
11 to 12.
Was that the season we got relegated? Oh my god, this is gonna kill. Trying to think who's in that kit. I'm gonna go. I can't even think. Dave Kitson.
Incorrect. Haz?
Nugent.
Incorrect. It was a friend of ours, David Norris.
Do you know what? I thought of it, and I thought there's no way that he can be the
8 goals he scored. That's because all our strikers were sold off, weren't they? Remember?
Yeah, that was. I couldn't remember which season that was in the championship, whether it was the first or the second one we got relegated in. I couldn't. And I went with in my head. I was going with the first season we'd been relegated from the Premier League, but obviously got that wrong. Shocker.
Right. Haz.
Go on.
16-17 season.
Cal Naismith.
Hey! And a number.
14.
Oh, it was 13.
Oh, you bastard.
It probably was 14.
14 was his shirt number, wasn't it?
Possibly, but it might be 14 with a cup goal if you've seen it written down. But obviously, we're just looking for league games. Right. Daz.
Yo.
Who was top scorer in the 99-2000 season?
99-2000. Oh. I I don't know. Prozinecki?
No.
Was he even there then?
No.
I'm having a complete mental blank here.
Oh my God, he's having a wobble.
Do you know what? There was like a stage, because where I just basically played football, and obviously still supported Pompey because supported Pompey before that. But
How
I didn't go
old?
to many
How
games.
old were you in 1999? In 2000? 99,
I was born 86, so
13?
14 years old. I was playing a lot more, and I couldn't get to as many games because basically my mum was on her own, so I couldn't afford to go to many games. Obviously, being living in Winchester as well, so I mainly just played. So
I guarantee you'll kick yourself.
who was it?
Whittingham.
Haz gets an opportunity. Who was he say?
Whittingham.
Nah, there was. Well, actually, I think he was there then, but he
Yeah.
came back as an older player then.
Yeah.
Steve Claridge.
Oh.
14 goals. Right, one more each, and it's 1-0. God. Right, Haz. Who was the top goal scorer in the 1920 season?
1920. Were you born then?
Sorry, 2020, just to make that clear.
Ronan Curtis.
Boom! Well done. Goals?
He's just got brought on actually for Port Vale. Right.
How many goals?
How many goals?
God. So this is just league.
Just league goals, yeah.
11.
Oh, he's only gone and done it.
Showboat.
So that's he's won. Because he still had a chance if it was 2-0 because he could have got the bonus point. But
let me see if I can get my last one.
Yeah, I'll still do it. But so that now takes the overall score to Daz 10, Haz 6.
Mm-hmm.
But your last one would have been, where was it? There it is. Oh no. Oh, I pressed the wrong fucking button. The 2005-06 season. So the year before Haz's first season.
And that was the season we got. We just about stayed up. So I'm pretty sure. I'm probably going to guess Matty Taylor.
Incorrect.
Oh,
it was Luar.
Was it? How many goals did he score though?
7. I think
Matty Taylor can't have been far behind.
Yeah, I think Matt Taylor and Gary Neal got 6, if I remember rightly.
Right.
Well done, Haz. You finally got back on the score sheet.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah.
Well happy for you. Well happy
Right.
for you.
Now, come on, my favourite time of the week.
Right. According to Wikipedia, I can play as a fullback, a midfielder, and a striker.
I can remember editing that. At first, I thought I misheard. You definitely said fullback, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
At first, I was about to say Ollie Hawkins, and then I remembered you said fullback. So it was fullback, winger, and striker, yeah?
Yes.
For a second, I was thinking Matty Taylor, but because Matty Taylor really started left back, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
I don't think he ever up front, though, did he?
He just played on the wing, though, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's where he's better. Just trying to think of converted wingers to. So it doesn't say what side; it just says fullback. Yeah.
Yep. Fullback, midfielder, striker.
Do you know what? I'm just going to go with Matty Taylor.
Love it.
So did I get it right or not?
No.
What do you mean?
That's incorrect. And that is actual Pompey fans, by the way.
Is it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jordan Huula.
Might just get them all wrong on purpose. Just do that.
Clue number 2. I was born in Barnsley, but came through the academy at Sheffield Wednesday.
Both in deep thought, clearly.
Yeah, it's like one of these things. Like, obviously, it might be worth just knocking the fullback thing on the head because like.
He might have played there like, as a youngster. Is that what you mean?
Because academies like to like players that can play in like at least 2 to 3 different positions. So that fullback thing might have been him through the thing. Like it's not like a George Hurst or anything, is it? Like did he actually come through the Sheffield? He did come through the Sheffield Wednesday Academy and then went to Leicester, didn't he?
Yeah, because he got dogs abuse, didn't he?
Yeah.
Out there. Well, his dad was one of their famous strikers, wasn't he?
Scummer as well, wasn't he?
Well, that's why they sing your dad's a legend, but you're
yeah.
Oh what?
Something naughty.
Oh what? Yeah, and his dad's a Scummer as well, wasn't he? Played for Scum.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, but I don't think George Hurst is from. I don't think they're actually from Barnsley. I don't think they're northern like that. I don't think. Or are they?
That's what I mean. I'm trying to think of sort of northerners as well. Do you mean? I'm struggling with this one.
Yeah, so am I.
This could be an old player and all.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Glenn Little.
That's just.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of anyone. Just trying to think of like a winger who could maybe play at fullback.
Russ?
Could be a player we got now.
Could be.
I honestly don't know. I'm just going to say an answer to get rid of it. Just trying to think of a winger. Josh Martin. Just because I know the band is. Maybe
Yeah.
Clue number 3. I only made 9 appearances for Portsmouth in my 18-month career, having my 2-year deal cut short.
Ooh. Before you said that, I was like, this literally could be anyone.
Yeah.
But the fact that 2-year deal got cut short, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's giving us a bit of a chance here.
Oh. Not gonna lie, I don't think it's given me much of a chance.
What was that player we got that barely played? And we got him from Accrington, Boku. Wasn't he like an all-round player? But I can't imagine he's from Barnsley.
No.
Trying to think of players that we just cut short. Who else did we cut short? It's not Norris, is it? Who else we cut short in recent years? Who's played fullback or wing or striker? Curtis Main, was he a northerner?
He was Scottish, wasn't he? Is he?
I know he went to Scotland. I don't know if he is Scottish.
Oh.
Could be. I don't know. I think he said Naismith, and he's definitely Scottish. Like proper Scottish and all. And I don't know if you've ever spoke to him. Who else we cut short? Carl Bennett we cut short, but he ain't from up north. Drew Talbot we cut short. But I don't think he ever played striker.
No.
God, you can imagine him up front. Fuck me. This thing about this literally could be anyone. This could even be an 80s player. Who knows? I know it's wrong, but I'm going to go Carl Bennett. Fuck it. Talbot, just for the shits and giggles, mate.
Drew Talbot.
Front.
That is the correct answer.
Oh, shut up! It isn't. That
It
is not
is.
the correct answer.
It is the correct
Is it?
answer. Yeah, it is.
There is no way Drew Talbot's played up front.
According to Wikipedia.
No.
According to Wikipedia, he can play as a fullback, a midfielder, or a striker.
Fuck's sake! I knew it. I was going to say it for just a laugh, and I went, "Now I'll say it's one it could be," and then see if that goes for it.
Give me the dud, which wasn't actually a dud.
Which wasn't a dud. When the fuck did he play up front?
I don't know.
I'm going on Wikipedia right now.
It says he can, doesn't say he has.
Oh, yeah.
Well, surely he had to them.
Yes, so, yeah. He hasn't played there for Chesterfield at any time, has he? Did he go back to Chesterfield after he left?
Yeah.
Drew Talbot. I'm assuming he's retired now.
Yeah, he had a testimonial between Sheffield Wednesday and Chesterfield.
Got testimonial. Is that even a thing anymore?
Did he play a lot for Sheffield Wednesday then? Just came for their academy.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
No, don't tell any where he's what positions he's played or anything. Got him down as a right mid.
But on Wikipedia, it says Talbot predominantly as a right back or on the right wing. He occasionally played as a left back, a left winger, but also could be utilised as a striker.
I just can't imagine that donkey ever.
That's him. He filled out his own wiki page, isn't he?
You know what that reminds me? Yeah, he's like, I was a fucking striker. That just reminds me. Do you know when you play with your mates or for a team, you got that really weak play, you don't know where to play, so you just sort of stick them up front because it's less damage there.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there was a game where they're like, you know what, we just need him out of the way?
Just go up there, mate.
Him up front. He played one game up front and he's like, yeah, I'm a striker. Yeah. I can't believe that. That has literally made my day, that is.
Fair play. I thought he was taking the mick when he played that.
Yeah, I was like, shut that, he's winding us up.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's a great shout, that was.
Do we like the new sound effects?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
I will find wherever I've put the theme tune for my section. I
will
find that.
If it's not back next week, I will kill myself. Just warn it.
Okay.
I'm not being dramatic or anything, but I will.
I'm not being dramatic, but I'll literally throw myself out a window.
I'm going to find. I'm going to spend all night now trying to find a game where he was up front.
Yeah.
Please do.
Might tweet it out to all Chesterfield fans and whoever else he's played for and say, can you please confirm if Drew Talbot's played up front?
You get one of his family members sending you like a home video.
Yeah, him was like 6 years old.
That'll be his next contact, like with Alex Robertson's dad.
Yeah, it will.
Drew's dad on WhatsApp.
Drew's dad on WhatsApp.
I mean, all the footballers' dads must have like a WhatsApp group or something. Like all of them.
Oh, you know what? I hope they do. If they don't, they should.
Yeah. One big old WhatsApp group.
We need a Pompey parent now, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Maybe, don't we? That's because
we don't have one.
No, we ain't got one.
We had Marie Curtis, and then we had. Obviously, Mark was quite good on Twitter last year.
Hayden Carter's mum.
Yeah, Hayden Carter's mum was good.
She was good. Yeah, we don't
really have anyone.
No, we need someone to step up, don't we?
Yeah.
We have Toby Stewart's parents are quite vocal on socials, aren't they?
Yeah, his birthday today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Toby Stewart.
10 years at Pompey, I think it was. Yeah. 20 years old.
Yeah, bloody hell. Fair play. Well, that's it. Yeah, he's obviously, because there was talk about him, because he hasn't gone out on loan again, has he? Because I don't think he can he? Well, I don't know. What's the rules when outside of the EFL? Could he?
I think it's different for National League, but I'm not entirely sure of the rules.
Maybe he might go out at some point soon, because he needs to keep playing, because I don't know how well he did at but playing at conference level is a good
He did all right at his first loan, and then obviously we recalled him, and then he did a month at Wealdstone.
That's it. Yeah.
And then that ended, and then nothing's come since. But
Talking about keepers, I've just totally forgot Alex Bass is at Notts County. I've just seen him on my TV.
go on, Alex.
Yeah, because he went from left at ours and went to what? Bradford? Did he go to Bradford or did he go to Bradford on loan?
He went to Sunderland, mate.
Yeah, he went to Bradford on loan for a bit, didn't he? Before he
dunno.
let him go to Sunderland. Because I remember, this could be part of any other business, maybe.
Oh yeah, he said the training ground was better than ours, didn't he?
Which is absolute tosh, because I've listened to a number of podcasts of players that have played for Bradford and said that the training ground has not changed since they were in the Premier League, and it's basically all they play. Their training ground is like a school and stuff like that. So he was obviously big enough, for some reason, because he was only on loan at the time, and I was thinking, someone have a word with him and tell him to shut his mouth, because it just sounds a bit off, doesn't it? Like saying that a club you're on loan to has better facilities than your own club. It's kind of like a kick in the teeth. But then when I've heard these stories about these players that have played for Bradford, I said nah, it's a shithole, because Gareth Evans, because he played at Bradford before us, a couple of teams before us, and then after he left us, he went back up to, I think, play for Bradford. And he said that when he went back to Bradford, it was literally everything was the same than it was when he left the first time. So
Bass was not happy when he left.
No, so he was talking absolute shit about the training ground, because Gareth Evans from his own mouth, and he's got a very lovely, beautiful mouth, and I'll believe anything that comes out of it. And if he said that, I trust Gareth Evans, to be fair.
Talking of players that speaking out while they're on loan, Neil Morpay. What a guy! What a guy!
The thing is, I think I'd obviously the comment about Paul Scholes is it is funny, but also at the same time, Paul Scholes is just in a different universe to Neil Morpay.
Oh yeah, of course, but it's still funny.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Yep.
I have found Drew Talbot as a striker.
Yeah.
So when he started at Sheffield Wednesday, on their squad list, he is down as a striker.
Wow.
And he scored 4 goals that season.
Because that is the thing. Players, as I said, when they go through academies, they're meant to play in a competitions. Because family friend of ours, actually, he's just signed for Exeter City, Angus McDonald. He started off in the academy, he was at Reading, and when he was playing youth football, he was one of the top goal scorers for one of our local teams. He scored 40 odd goals every season, and when he went to academy, they wanted him to play there up front as well as centre back, and that's where he plays now, because
Sol Campbell. Didn't Sol Campbell start as a striker?
Yeah, Rio Ferdinand. Loads of defenders, especially in the Premier League, started off as strikers or wingers and stuff like that. Again, yeah, because they don't want you just playing in one position the whole way through, because obviously your body can change and that sort of stuff, and you become better at certain things. So I think they want you to have be adaptable. So if you're needed, you can play in a different position. But yeah, there's loads of Premier League defenders that have started off up front. Yeah. Right. Is there any other business, or?
I was just going to quickly run through the Andy Moon interview with Andy Cullen.
Oh yeah, go for it.
That he did. So this is all bullet pointed.
Oh,
it's not lifting.
I missed that.
Lifting direct quotes or anything.
Yeah, he did on Tuesday, Russ.
Oh yeah, I've definitely missed that then.
Basically, we can't. Although we believe that the January was a busy month, we aim to go out stronger than we went in. But we can't judge that until the season's finished.
Yeah,
we've got to be positive going into the last 15 games. We want to still keep operating sustainably, despite the fact that we've had teams around us with parachute payments, and basically Luton and Plymouth getting a record fee for Morgan and Whittaker and being able to splash their cash in the rest of the squad. The aim is still to be the player trading model, but it's going to take time and we need to be patient with that. we have in League One he didn't say under Danny Cowley, but we know under Danny Cowley he preferred the loans. We spent over double the next amount on loans by the next team, is basically what he said. And Andy Moon said, well, how does that work when we've still got 6 loans? So even though we've got 6 loans now, we've spent considerably less than we did for the fees and the wages and everything than we did in League One. But we're still spending fees on Tommy Waddingham, Hayden Matthews, and obviously Hayden Matthews is the highest paid fee for a defender from the Aussie League. He then went to talk about the FA charges that we got for invading the pitch against Barnsley. He refutes a lot of what the FA panel said about the lack of documentation being filled out correctly and the lack of preparation. He feels they couldn't have done much more.
No,
They had more. They had more stewards than any other game that season against Barnsley. Everything that they had done and put in place was also approved / what did I write down? Where's it gone? I've lost that. Approved / endorsed by the EFL and the police before the match. So they didn't raise any concerns. And also, if there's going to be 13,000 fans on the pitch, how are you going to ban every single one of them?
Yeah.
Is what he said. The bit that he did acknowledge was the clash with the opposition players, where one of them got hit by a lighter. Obviously, the bit was the FA will always want to protect the players first, and that if we do it again, we could see a sporting sanction imposed instead of just financial.
Wait
So
a minute, hang on. So what about all these other ones? Do you remember when Sheffield United ran on the pitch? Didn't one of them take out?
That was a Notts Forest fan.
Well, no, yeah, we were
took out Billy Sharp.
They literally someone like 2-footy tackled him.
No, I think he pretty much headbutted him.
Yeah,
on the head, yeah.
Like nothing was done about that, and yet we're getting squinny that over someone lobbing a lighter, which don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning, but it just fucks me off when so many things have happened. You've seen fans run on punch players, push them, get involved with the away fans. Do you mean?
But we've just basically, if we stay up, for example, we get in a similar position against Hull on the last day of the season and we stay up as a last gasp Shaughnessy winner, don't invade the pitch because we might end up getting a points deduction because that is a sporting sanction they could do.
And also, you shouldn't invade.
What about Scum? Scum charged at the West Brom fans.
Yeah. And also, we shouldn't really be pitch invading if we stayed up. I don't agree with
I never like to either.
No, maybe, of course. I'm just trying to say that's what it could be.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the sporting sanctions they can give is a points deduction if they wanted to, because they said they were going to come harder on us next time.
I think we've just been picked on there personally.
Yeah. And the thing is,
they've been worse than us, and they've done nothing about it.
Yeah, they couldn't have had any more stewards. And to be honest, even if they did have more stewards, I would probably think if they had more stewards and they were more stringent and they were dedicated not to let fans on the pitch, that would probably be more dangerous because you would have had more of a push and a crush and that kind of stuff. And
they could have had a couple of hundred more stewards. We'd have still got on the pitch.
Yeah, but what I mean is that if you could have filled literally, so there was no space whatsoever. Had God knows how many stewards, but if you've got all those fans that want to get on the pitch, you're probably going to cause more issues because, I mean, a lot of the time, if fans try to get on the pitch and everyone's going, the stewards will just step to one side and let people on because it's safer.
Well, I hope they then do something about Everton last night then.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing they probably will be, yeah. But pretty much every team they got promoted, and you even had teams that got to the Wembley final for the playoffs. They all got on the pitch. Yeah. Oh, Curtis just scored last minute. Yeah, they all went on the pitch, so I'm guessing they're getting the same kind of treatment. But I suppose we might not hear about that unless Andrew Moon asks Andrew Cullen or stuff like that, or they find out from their partners in different radios and stuff like that, maybe.
I just think it's just bullshit. I've seen worse.
No, I agree.
And I'm not just sticking up for us. I generally have seen worse.
And that's the thing. There was one bit where I think one of the Pompey fans ran into the Barnsley player, but it looked like an accident, to be honest. It didn't look like...
Yeah, it was, and even the player admitted it after the game.
Yeah, because I saw the fan, you see the fan turn around, like sort of put his hand out to kind of apologise, so...
Yeah.
And the last bit was the feasibility study for the footbridge. It is being done, but we won't see anything from the feasibility study results until the end of the year.
Because don't they have to? They probably want to wait as well until they've done the other bridge, haven't they? Because that's getting done now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but this is just a feasibility study to see if we can get it done. That's what this is for.
Yeah, they want.
This isn't even doing anything. This is just to investigate.
This is the one they wanted the council to pay for, wasn't it?
And Network Rail.
Yeah, I think they wanted everyone to chip in, didn't they? I think they didn't want to just them. I think it's just the council, just the rail. I think they wanted everyone all to chip in a certain amount of money.
I get where the Islanders are coming from.
Yeah,
right. Is in like it's for the benefit of them as well. Why shouldn't they chip in? But this isn't like the three of us deciding to get a pizza and cut it in free and whatever. You're us when you got billionaires going, I think you should pay part of it. It just looks so out.
I think what they could have,
especially as it's only 15k.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
He's probably got that in his wallet.
Yeah, I think the feasibility thing. I agree with them. Obviously, with the actual building of it, I agree that everyone should probably have a little chip in and stuff like that. But to get the study done, I think we should have just paid that off and just did it ourselves.
That he's like, I want the bridge. Well, then pay the 15 grand, you knob.
Yeah. Because is it 15 grand each, or is it 15 grand?
Yeah, it was. I think it was about 60k in total.
It's nothing, is it?
No. So I think if we just paid that, and then because that also doesn't account to anything, it won't be an issue for our financials and stuff like that anyway. So we wouldn't have nothing to do with that stuff. But I don't know. Again, I suppose it's one of these things you need to be in the room to find out and stuff like that, because it would feel. I know some people would say, "Oh, it's because they're tight, don't want to spend any money and stuff like that." But I mean, that's not a lot of money for someone in that position, is it really? So you'd think they would just pay it. Maybe they just want the sort of to understand where the other areas are sat, like the council and Network Rail and stuff like that. Because if they might think, well, if they won't chip in for this, they won't help with the bridge either. So I don't know. It's a power play sometimes, isn't it?
Going back on the loan thing, you made me think about when you said about the Cowleys love the loans. Just having a look. When you think about Cowley's, so forget his loans, his signings.
They were good.
They were actually really good.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when he left. I think I can't remember if I tweeted, but I said something to someone about it and said if you actually look at the play, he deserves credit for the plays he brought in on permanence.
So he brought in Zach Swanson,
Rafferty,
Ogilvie. He brought in Pack, Bishop. He brought in Morel.
Yeah.
He brought in Louis Thompson, who until he broke his leg was a big part.
Yeah. Lowry, he was just unlucky.
The things that let him down
were the loans.
Who was people like Josh Griffiths, Piggott, Scarlett, Dale, Koroma.
And that's the thing with a lot of the loans, they started well, didn't they? But then they just fell off.
I think the only one that never did was Griffiths, wasn't it?
Obviously Bazunu was a good one as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. That and probably Hayden Carter are the two loans he got bang on.
Yeah.
But I think that's what let him down. You name near enough the team that helped us get promoted, or some of them are still here.
Yeah.
So, he definitely done well in permanence. Just, I think where he wanted to get the bigger fees on the loans, that's what let him down, along with obviously probably more his playing style as well. But you made me think there, and I've just gone back through and thought actually, he's actually signed a lot of our players that got us up in the end.
Yeah. Right, lovely. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Just a quick one. I really enjoyed. I sent a picture to the boys earlier, and it was a graph of basically. Where the fuck is it? I can't believe how much we talk. Of Championship expected goals table since January the 1st. Everyone else is sort of near each other, seriously bad teams, and some are in create much but don't concede much. And then you got good teams here, and then there's us, chaos, on its own, out the way. And I think we started talking about it, how this season just reminds me of the old 90s.
Yeah.
You just didn't know what was happening. We would go on a mad run where we didn't lose for 10 games, then we couldn't buy a win to save your life. A bit like this season, really. Couldn't buy a win away from home.
No.
So, but I think that's the perfect name for the season and for the rest of the season is chaos.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know we've been pumped a couple of times, especially away from home and things like that, but we have sort of turned that round a little bit by picking up good wins at home by like 3s and 4s and stuff like that. So, I mean, ideally, I would like to be further up the table and with better points, but I think we're kind of where we are, where I felt we were going to be at this stage in the season.
Well, my prediction was 18th, so I'm happy where we are.
Yeah, I can't remember what I said actually. I think I said 18th. I can't remember. But it's one of those things, isn't it? I always said that as long as we're in the running, coming to the last couple of months or month or so, then that's all you can ask as a minimum. So we are where we are. It's in our hands basically.
And I think we've got a really good running as well.
I think it starts on Saturday, and obviously another bit of the run. Obviously, we start on Tuesday, didn't we? But I mean, if we can get a really good positive result on Saturday, I think that really tees us up to really hit that last part of the season. And especially we've got QPR at home the following Saturday. It'd be good if we can go into there maybe with 6 points out of these last 2 games, really. But we will see, I suppose. But is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, that's it for me.
Russ, you better get on and feed the dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers, guys. Another enjoyable pod. Anyone travelling up to Oxford, safe travels. Obviously, I know it's not far, but still. And hopefully we can come back on here next week talking about another 3 points, hopefully. But until then, guys, play at Pompey.